Never before in all our history have these forces been so united against one candidate as they stand today. They are unanimous in their hate for me, and I welcome their hatred.
The needs of working families and the middle class, not just the billionaire class. We know what's going on. We are paying attention.
It is the end of the corporate age, and my audio is really low. I don't know why. Hang on. Let's fix that. Is that better? That's better. Good morning. It's the Saturday show. Maybe that's too loud now. And we have a special show. I know that I stopped doing interviews and told everybody we were done doing like We the People and all that other stuff, but that was mostly because it was really high stress and required a lot of people to produce. And the Saturday show that's not the case. Saturday show is supposed to be, just us getting together and relax. And the lovely Laura Livengood was kind enough to reach out to somebody we're all a fan of in a progressive movement, and that's Pat Cody, also known as Peter Douche. Peter Douche's liaison at this point, thanks to censorship on the net. And he agreed to come on and talk to us today about his book, An Inconvenient Douche. So we have Pat with us today. We also have Laura Livengood. We have Markus Krantz. And I'm going to put 4 of us on. We also have Amos Elroy with us. We got a full house. But right now, please welcome Pat Cody, Markus, and Laura. Hi, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
Amos, you're off there in the distance, but you could unmute and say hi if you want to. Sorry, I got you.
Hi, guys. Just wave, Amos.
There's Amos. He's having some technical difficulties, but really appreciate you being here.
Wow, density. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, 31 viewers this morning. Pat, you bring the ratings. You're better than the Germans for ratings. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You can bring Amos in now and I'll leave.
All right. That works. That. So we do have a lot of stuff to talk about, but I'm just going to start the conversation with Pat and talk about the fact that you are a parody account of a guy who's kind of a parody to begin with, Peter Dow. And I'll be honest, I don't know that more people know who Peter Dow is than they know who you are.
That's a good sign for the world.
I agree. I agree. Thank you, Density, for that donation. Appreciate that. So,
yeah, let's hope that continues into 2020, because if he gets back on his rants about Hillary and all the progressive trashing,
absolutely.
The following again. We have to fight.
So what lately he's kind of veered towards, I don't know, he's veered left of center. What happened to him? He kind of went off the rails.
So my theory with him is that the progressive movement really did win the argument. So all the Democrats have to pretend they're progressive now. And if he's going to shill for someone in the future for the next election, he can't do it with the same tactics they used in 2016. So it's kind of rebranding in my mind. Like he's now reclaiming his authority as somebody that is in touch, where old Peter Dow could never do that in 2020.
Mm-hmm. I think his paycheck stopped, is what I think.
I mean, I think that's what was behind it, but I think he's got another one coming.
Yeah. I think he got owned so many times that he just had to get a credible voice back into the game. Now.
Oh yeah.
He's not being.
I mean, before the parody, he was the top target for Democratic shills. I mean, he was the least transparent.
Yeah.
Or the most transparent.
Well, yeah, him and Paul Krugman, I think, were the
right.
Two, Paul and then Rachel surprised us all. I really was shocked, because I thought she was on the side of the people, and then somebody handed her more cash.
They flipped her switch.
Oh yeah.
The one back there.
I mean, and that did more damage than anyone, because she was trusted by progressives and still is by the people that ended up siding with Hillary.
I know.
You saw it happening, because you'd hear her and you'd go, wait, what? what's she saying? She's like, oh, this whole Bernie's nice, but too bad he can't win. She's already got it, you know. And it was like what, January, February 2016 that clicked over, and it was shocking. And I never watched her since.
Yeah. Just to I want everybody to, just so we're clear on who Pat is here, because we've got a lot of people in the audience. Thank you all. This is Pat the Burner on Twitter, Pat Cody, who's also Peter Douche's liaison. And that used to be Peter Douche, who was censored because of the parody account Peter Dow. And really, Twitter censored the wrong account. I'm not sure what happened there. But you've got a book out, An Inconvenient Douche, and it kind of talks about the times that we had back then, right?
Right. So I wrote it, you know, in a sense to document what happened so that people can pick up something that easily shows you where we're at, where Democrats are at. It's just supposed to be fun and funny, but it's kind of depressing in a way, because it does cover what happened. But it's not I'm fawns over Hillary, and I didn't want it to make it all about Hillary and the past. So it really is addressing what's wrong with the Democratic Party in a way that is approachable and easy to read. That's the theory, anyway.
The Democratic Party needs something approachable and easy to read.
Well, that's true.
Our national platform is not that. So yeah, I appreciate you making this. What about the 2016 primaries? There was so many events that occurred, but was there one that stuck out to you that was just like the most outrageous?
Well, just on the top of my head, you were talking about Maddow and her flip. So personally, when she tried to smear Bernie with he's not anti-abortion enough.
Oh, that thing.
That one really stung to me, because she was live interviewing Bernie, and he said that line about, you know, they were asking why the Democratic establishment why Planned Parenthood? Why Planned Parenthood had chosen to back Hillary and not him, and he had some line about, you know, and he was trying to say that the Democratic leadership, the Planned Parenthood leadership had been beholden to Hillary, like all the big organizations leadership was, but she spun that into Bernie's calling Planned Parenthood the establishment.
Right.
And so she directly, as soon as she got off with Bernie, she did a hallway interview with Hillary Clinton to address her comments on that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which had never been done. She never did she's not, you know, this isn't the Jerry Springer show where she catches people in the hallway, but she went out of the way to do that, to smear Bernie.
And there was a really weird timeline to that. Like she had to, and they did a whole little docudrama video bit of showing her, you know, taking a limousine across town to go find Hillary Clinton. And I think they later found out that she actually shot it earlier in the day. So it was
a setup hit piece from the start.
Oh my God! It was it was a produced piece. I remember that distinctly. So that's what I love about this book. Okay, I'm going to rant a little bit about this, because I've been doing shows with you, John, since May, June of 2016, starting with the People's Convention.
Yeah.
So front row seat to every single thing. And I was like, God, you know, I wish I'd had a way to have it all in one place. So seriously, for those of you who have been with us, this is something that you should have as just so you could show your grandchildren, this is what happened.
Is it a more factual documentation?
2016, if we're even here to have that conversation longer than 12 years.
That's a good point. Yeah.
But anyway, it's just written. I'm a sucker for things that are written in a humorous way, and in a clever parody. And sometimes you break the wall and you talk just directly, like this is bullshit. But then you slip back into this light parody, which it isn't overdone, and you stay in voice so well. And I hope for additional volumes or part 2s, part 3s as we go through.
Should have plenty of material.
So an Inconvenient Douche 2020, would be.
There you go.
Yeah.
Like this could grow to be the chronicle of our age. No hyperbole intended.
Yeah.
It really. I mean,
think
you have
so.
people like Thomas Frank and Chris Hedges, they're out there, but they're so
Yeah.
fucking depressing. And you're only mildly depressing. It's very amusing.
Now, was that centrist? Just
And
curious.
Yes, exactly.
Be mildly
That's going to be the review in the next book on the
Yeah.
back.
Yes.
Only mildly depressing.
There you go. Laura Live. Thank you, Laura. Brahm, you are absolutely right. I want to say hi to all 48 people this morning. That's quite a large crowd for our morning audience. This is Kelly Lane's tweet. She was helping me last night with some quotes from the book because my book isn't here yet. And so Kelly was kind enough. This is Maddow. I'm talking. This looks like maybe more recent. As a loyal Democrat, you should obviously be watching Rachel Maddow nightly, absorbing the minutiae of Russia's connections. Maddow may not have Glenn Beck's chalkboard or red pins connected to strings to lay out all these hypotheticals, but that's actually why it works. Rachel has really gone off the board with Russia.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, the whole centrist thing is Russia. What's your view on Russia?
Russia and Russia is chapter 3. So yeah.
Right. So whatever's there in the Russia stuff, if there is some there, it's stuff that you could get the Democrats onto. I mean, it's going to be business stuff. It's going to be investments because the Russian reset was all done while Hillary was Secretary of State, and it was a
lot of real estate.
trying to get capital invested over there. So everyone with money in government is tied up with Russia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But as far as Maddow goes, I mean, every single night is Russia, and if we've all read WikiLeaks, and Hillary, as soon as the election was over, their campaign was planning on spinning it that they were blaming Russia from the start, and they've done that now for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely true. It's absolutely true. And what are we going to do when Russia doesn't really? Do you really think it's going to produce anything? Because if Dems also have to protect their own scandals, at some point they're going to put the kibosh on this or limit it, right?
I mean, that's the $1 million question. I mean, who knows? I mean, I don't have an answer on that one, honestly. I mean, they're all tied in with it. But are they actually going to impeach Trump over it? I mean, is that even?
No. Pelosi already said that's not even the goal. They don't even care
They're
about
all
that.
part of the same team.
So at the end of the day, what do you have? It's almost like all the Democrats can do is lose if nothing comes out in the Russia thing. They've almost shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, we know this. So good to have you on to verify the sadness of the. No, honestly, and everybody, if you have questions that are better questions than the ones I'm forming here for Pat, please drop them in chat. Love to ask questions. Anything on?
Write the word question all in caps so we can see it though, because it's moving kind of.
I forgot to do that whole Laura Live and Good. Tell everybody about engagement broadcasting because it's the Saturday show.
No, I don't do that on the Saturday show.
That's right.
I do that on We the People. I don't have that pressure here. I don't have to fucking answer the questions.
That's true. It's Saturday.
Oh, I did see the intro. We're supposed to tell dick jokes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you have it?
We're warning that they may just arise. So
Who do I tie it into? Nancy Pelosi dick joke?
You're gonna put a dick joke into Nancy. I'm not even gonna go there.
No,
Yeah.
please not.
That's the wrong way to go. She probably hasn't had a dick or a joke in a while.
yeah.
I love this quote from you, a Democratic rising star. I love the fact that you've actually got that trademarked. That's a great way to go. We talked about this earlier. Beto 2020. He lost to Cruz. He's funded by big oil. He's waffled on Medicare for all. What more could you ask of a centrist? What do you think?
Well, it'd be nice if he voted to deregulate the banks. Oh, check. He can check that box.
Check.
See, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know how bad Beto was at the time. I was just like, well, he's not Ted Cruz, but
there's one more. Fast tracking TPP. He was one of the few people to vote to give Obama authority to approve provisions without Congress voting on it.
We always like
what
that.
Was in the TPP.
So, but let's be honestly here on Ted Cruz versus Beto. Okay, like Beto is definitely a corporate tool. Wouldn't you still have rather seen Beto in office over Ted Cruz just to avoid flies on the face?
That's the question.
Yep. Absolutely. No, I mean, that's why he had all this national attention, because everybody, it was the anti-Ted Cruz campaign, and they still lost it despite, what did they spend, like 20 times what Ted Cruz spent? I mean, granted, it's Texas, but
but they
still lost.
They made a point out of the monumental amount of money and the historic fundraising and campaign for Beto, and
to replace an unpopular senator with someone more appealing that would still do all the same things that he did eventually.
Right. But now they're talking about him for 2020.
Which is their,
only the Democrats can say, hey, this guy just lost to Ted Cruz. Let's put everything into him.
And then call him the White Obama and think that is good.
Yeah.
And they still think that's a good thing.
I thought that was said ironically, and it was not. It was like,
And
who called him the White Obama?
Oh, I saw a tweet about it.
And what about his b-ball skills, right?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Can he play?
I don't know. This is why I'm asking.
I mean, apparently he was a skateboarder, and that makes him cool. So
and a rocker.
Yeah, he was a punk rocker, so he's got that whole.
That
makes him part of the resistance now. So
right,
that's right up there with us, like Bill Clinton's saxophone.
Hot Beto says Julie. Yeah, Bill. Yeah. Beto wasn't progressive enough to defeat Cruz. Now that's a statement that we progressives say. Do you think that's the truth? Do you think if Beto had been farther left in Texas, he would have done better, Pat?
Well, without being in Texas, I mean, I'm just spitballing, but
we all are.
All these guys that back off their positions at the end, and then the centrists come in to pump them up at the last minute. I don't understand the strategy there. I mean, all the data shows that millennials and everybody has been moving left. I mean,
it's not millennials that are making these decisions.
Yeah. And, the country is sports Medicare for all. The country is more and more socialist. So why do you have a centrist push at the last minute?
That's where the power and the money is right now.
Right. Thank you. Because when you need funding money, it apparently doesn't come directly from the progressive movement, and so you try to go grab more of it from the center.
The consultants telling you that Medicare for all is a bad issue, but they're not doing it based on polling. They're doing it based on they want you to know it's a bad position.
Yeah. Well, they're polling their insurance agents.
You'll be pressured about this.
Right.
Yeah.
Aetna definitely thinks it's a bad idea. All right. Here's another quote from you, and I love that you call her Ocasio something because I hope that you meet her. Have you ever met her? Have you?
No, I haven't.
She's wonderful.
She'd probably laugh her ass off at this.
Yes,
she would.
She has the nerve to attack Democrats' new platform. GoFundMe for all is the future. Get on board, Bernie bro. And I love this because Ocasio is showing this went around. I don't know if you all saw this. It actually went around with all the person's personal information on it first. But they were told by this nonprofit agency that deals with healthcare that they didn't qualify for. They weren't rich enough. They didn't have enough money, and so they suggested a not GoFundMe, but it suggested a fundraising campaign to come up with $10,000 or so or something to pay off their bills. I mean,
and this is where life imitates art, because I was joking about GoFundMe for all like 6 months ago.
Yes.
And it's literally in a letter from the health company.
But I'll just say this: we could probably have a better chance of getting GoFundMe to go insurance than Nancy Pelosi to back Medicare for all. Agree?
I would agree.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
he's there to kill it.
So why do we? I mean, I'm just going to ask you. We don't know because we haven't talked to AOC. But do you think she thinks she can convince Nancy to go this way? Why the compromise with Pelosi? Right.
Is it her being pragmatic? Did she negotiate for something? I don't know. I mean, it's so depressing to take these people that we really do appreciate and have them just greenlight Nancy fucking Pelosi.
Yeah.
I think I made the point last week that it's because we can't take it over all of it now. We've got, five, six good freshmen in there now.
Right.
And Pelosi's a known entity. We absolutely know what her agenda is. We know her motives. And we don't want anyone else that new we have to figure out. We know that a couple more years of her we should have counted on that. And I think if people if Scott were here, he'd go, "Oh, of course she was going to be get again." Again, it's everybody's. It's one big club, and they're all supporting her. Trump's supporting Pelosi. It's like this is all agreed upon.
I don't know if you guys caught that, but there was a story with Alexandria that she actually had a pushback on Manchin this week.
On Manchin?
Yeah,
Yes,
she did.
Okay.
I missed that.
Yeah, she did.
All I know is her office is 2 doors down from Nancy's office.
Well, that's what I wonder. Is it, did Ocasio something show up to work and realize, oh, this is my fucking boss? Is it that kind of structure when you get internalized there, and it's like just having to deal with her?
I think she wants to make a splash, and I think she did. But I don't think you can take over the whole place. That was ridiculous, and they've got to. At some point, they've got a lot of work to do. They can waste their time,
right?
Something that's obviously going to get pushed through by the club.
Yeah, and I don't want to come down on her either. I mean,
yeah.
No,
I think she had to do. She's got other stuff to fry. When things are going to go the way they go, and she's going to work from the bottom up.
Yeah.
I just wish she didn't. I mean, I think there's still a way to say what she said without praising Nancy Pelosi, and I think they always they go too far with it. Like you could just say, well, she's the most progressive person right now, so right now I'm supporting.
Who knows what they're being told to do or not do?
Yeah.
They could be being given things. This is what you have to say.
That's exactly what it seems like, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of these progressives that sounded really strong before they got in office seem to have backed away, or as you said, when it got close and centrist money came in, their positions started to weaken, right?
Yeah.
And
one of the two. Yeah. But I think it's wise for them to be strong, but when called for, lay a bit low, because you gotta get the lay of the land there. You got to get in and work your way up. You can't take over from right now. You've got too many powerful people going to squish you.
Well, I mean, and we're going to know soon. It's not like, her saying that about Pelosi didn't have any impact on Pelosi's leadership role.
Oh God, no.
We'll see how she votes, and I don't have any doubt that we can trust her. That is an issue.
Right. And I think that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is, if you look at what she did in her campaign, it was a very good and a thoughtful strategy she had, and all her potential and credit is her credibility. And I don't think that she would risk this at the first opportunity, and not for Nancy Pelosi. I'm pretty sure that she's knowing what she's doing, and she will stay open for the progressive values she stands for. I'm absolutely convinced about this.
Yeah. The right-wing narrative that she's stupid, dumb as a box of rocks or whatever, that they've got this very dismissive attitude about her. And I challenge anybody to sit and have a good conversation with her and not think, oh my God, she's been the smartest girl in the room for a long time. I really admire her.
And this is a party where half the party is still following Sarah Palin.
Right? Sarah Palin got skewered for that whole civics, tweet thing where she was criticizing Ocasio's knowledge. That was absurd. She seriously raged it.
Yeah, absolutely absurd. Yeah.
So Beto 2020, and we think Peter Dow's going to be shilling for Beto possibly once he gets Veritas rebooted, which was supposed to happen this summer apparently. I love this quote from you. It's a tweet. And this is serious. How could Bernie be the best candidate to beat Trump if he can't even win a rigged primary? Still withering. And that's, I mean...
That sums up 2016.
Exactly, yes. Absolutely.
But honestly, we're going to face worse in 2020, right?
I think we are.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
The rigging's
But I don't think the gaslighting isn't going to work as well. I mean, we've kind of immunized Bernie to all that. It's just...
Well, he sure comes in with a lot more name recognition than he did last time.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
So...
And I mean, if he had those early states, if he had name recognition in those early states, he would have won, period,
Oh, yeah.
Even with all their fuckery.
Yeah. I love the poll.
Which one? There's so many good polls.
The douche in action, who that Peter Dow will be shilling for.
Oh, yeah. There we go. Beto, Hillary, Kamala. It's whoever ends up on top of the Rat Pack, right? It's just going to be that
Yeah. So
scramble.
who's winning that poll right now? I don't even know.
I don't know. Is Biden? If they finally removed Biden from the running, Jesus.
God, I hope so.
And does it matter?
Right. Does anybody care?
Any questions from the audience, or are you all just in agreement with us that the state of the Democratic Party is horrific? We have lots of work to do. Where can we go get the book, Pat? Since we're here plugging your book.
Yeah.
Thank you. So An Inconvenient Douche is the title of the book, obviously. So aninconvenientdouche.com.
There you
where
go.
the book is. And,
I just dropped it in chat again for those of you playing at home.
And probably next week I'll put it on Amazon, but I'm trying to avoid that as much as I can.
I hear you.
But to reach outside of our circle and find a new, an audience that doesn't already know me, I have no other choice really than to go to someplace like Amazon, unless I can, if I had 20 grand to finance this thing myself, I could do it. But
we all feel the same. I don't want to be on
You're
YouTube.
old enough to have $30,000, I bet.
Yeah. If nobody wants it, it's kind of the problem with the internet, is that everything we use on the internet is corporate controlled one way or the other, and they're all corporations we're really not interested in working with. But we're kind of stuck here because we can't afford to compete with Sinclair, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, net neutrality is gone, so that should help.
It actually does help us compete with Sinclair in some ways. Like, we can go buy a station and we can do whatever we please on it if we could afford to buy a local station. I mean, the North Star with Sean King and Ben Dixon, that's kind of their plan. And they're, I don't know if you saw their launch, but it was like, we need 100,000 people. And they're like, okay, a week later, if we can get to 10,000 people, right? Because the money's just not there. It takes a shitload of money, right?
Yeah, I didn't even know about that. So they're launching a platform, or they're still trying to?
Yeah, I mean, and this is a great question for you, just in terms of what do you see the actual progressive movement doing with the internet and using it to control the narrative. But they've been trying to launch this something to unify or to provide a big platform and start with buying an actual TV station, which is, I've been talking about that. We need to go to the local access networks. We need to get our content on traditional networks. Do you agree with that concept?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. You need a super lefty progressive show. You need MSNBC if it was honest.
Yeah, yes.
That's what you need. But beyond that, the real problem is that there isn't a trusted, not left, not right. You need for Americans to have trust in our media again, you need something like CNN that isn't left, isn't right, has both views on, has somebody interpreting both views, not just letting them speak to each other with their talking points. But that doesn't exist. So now we have to get pigeonholed. So, when you a progressive channel would be great, but it's not going to reach. It's going to talk to progressives. I mean, that's the downside. Like, you need both. I mean, obviously.
It's kind of the point of the fairness doctrine when it was around, was to force the news to provide fair and balanced information. I've heard arguments against it actually, but
Well, imagine if that was the case in 2016 and Bernie had fair time. I mean, Ed Schultz got fired from MSNBC for just wanting to cover Bernie announcing he was running for president.
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely.
Let alone the rallies that I kept hearing about from other places, but why don't I see this anywhere? Why don't I see them? That's how I found John. Yeah. Somebody's got to be doing it. He was doing them every night. I'd come home and watch him drink dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and then their excuse for covering Trump excessively is that it was for ratings, right? That's all of the media's excuse. Well, you don't think all these millennials coming out in 40,000 at a pop to cover Bernie is something people that's not worth ratings? I mean, people would have, that story could have sold better than Trump. I mean,
at least alongside it, not completely ignored.
Yeah, I mean, so you're talking about another funny part of the primaries. When the media covered Trump's press conference, when he had the table full of products that he was pimping. And he literally had fucking Trump steaks. Trump steaks.
Yeah.
And the media is covering that shit while they're not covering Bernie
They're covering empty podiums rather than covering.
Yeah.
Empty podium. The cheerleaders. Remember the Trump cheerleaders that they brought out?
Yeah.
That was frightening.
That was really scary.
We had the Nazi youth starting already.
Oh, those little girls with this. Oh yeah, I remember them.
That was creepy. That was creepy as shit. And then it got real when he started putting kids in cages. You know.
Yeah.
Which is where we're at now.
Hey, from chat, Ben Yates says, question, better world books instead of Amazon. Better world books. I don't know what that is.
There you go.
Sounds
Maybe an option.
It sounds better.
It's probably all liberal progressives there too, but you know, you reach some of those people.
Sold 3 or 4. You could sell tens and tens.
I mean, I'm not against putting it anywhere. It's just that right now all I'm doing is just annoying everyone on Twitter by self-promoting myself too much, you know. So I want to get out there.
Are they getting on you for that?
No, not at all. I mean,
you think you're over promoting yourself?
Well, no, but the weird thing about Twitter is, so I have a following of, I don't know, somewhere near 30,000 people. But anytime you tweet, you're only reaching 1,000 or so of your people that follow you.
Yeah.
So you have to pervasively repeat the message to actually get something to all your followers, unless they're checking your feed.
It's true. It's
where you come up in their feed. I do B2B Twitter. It's like, there's a cadence, you know, you
so what I try to do when I promote the book is at least, you know, post something new material from the book, or something that gives somebody a laugh or something. So not the same crap every time, but
well, it's been great.
Actually, quoting tweets from the book, even just quoting that table of contents is brilliant, because people can read that.
Thank you.
It's nice. And I encourage everybody to get it. I appreciate the work you put into it, because it's really not self-serving. It's just kind of it's good. It reminds us. You kept me laughing, man. When we were during those times, I mean, Laura could tell you how many times I was just screaming into the mic, so pissed off at what was going on, and then I'd see a tweet from you, we're like, and then
thank you, Al. Al says, I'm spearheading a giving sat to independent media movement. Anyone care to join me? And he pledges $10. So thank you.
Great, thank you, Al.
Thank you, Al.
$12. $10, excuse me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Al's in Vermont, Pat.
Oh, nice.
See, there's a family. We know these people.
Yeah, they are. We know these people. Yeah. So I was looking at a quote from when we're talking about Peter Dow flipping. Here's parody Peter Dow talking about Saudi Arabia and their suffering. I mean, all of a sudden the Dem Party and remember, everybody, Hillary Clinton was the top salesperson for Barack Obama and sold many, many weapons of war to Saudi Arabia, gleefully cheered when they bombed a bunch of people with F-15s on Christmas, and now we've got these people, you know, oh my gosh, now we've turned against what a horrible country they are for using the weapons we sold them.
Toss fracking in there, and you've got a trifecta.
And 1 week ago, she came to she addressed Germany, and he gave good advice to Europe to take care to close the borders. What migration concerns, you know. One of the persons who is also in charge of what happened in the Middle East, you know, comes with good advice to Europe, you know. Fuck you, Hillary Clinton. Go away. You know. That's what I can say to this.
End racism by building a wall in Europe. That was basically her message, something like that.
Yeah.
Well, then Chuck Schumer took it to light, because he did we're doing like a final solution centrism style with $1.6 billion for the wall. Right.
Yeah, I mean, and Mexico's supposed to pay for this wall, but Chuck Schumer is going to give 1.6 with no question.
Right. And
it's just absurd.
It is. And so that everybody ties this all together, the group, the PAC that came up with the whole idea of the $1.6 billion for the wall was No Labels. No Labels PAC, everybody. Right? They're the top donor for Kurt Schrader here in Oregon, and they're the problem solvers, or the problem creators caucus that we're familiar with. Do you, Pat, we're going to call you Peter. Pat.
Okay.
Pat, Douche, Peter, Cody. Do you think Hillary and Bill will provide endless entertainment as we head into 2020?
Yeah, and they're I mean, so Biden is the gaffe factory. I hope Biden's during stop running.
Yeah, that's true.
He kind of is creepy Joe.
Beyond Biden, those two are going to chime in all through the election and have dumb quotes. I mean, it's never going to end. I mean, look, Hillary may actually run. I mean, I thought that was ridiculous 6 months ago, but
do you think?
I think it's a
The
possibility.
QAnon people don't, have her, in jail first.
You think it's a possibility? That's you. I just.
I never did until maybe a month ago, honestly. And I mean, if you look at a crowded field, her cult following puts her at the top of the centrist people. If there are enough centrists in there. I mean, it's possible. That's all I'm going to say.
It really is. It really is. I'm frightened by that.
And we gotta quickly thank the Natural Progressive and Snorky 2K and Patrick.
Thank you, Sandy.
Thank you very much.
Snorky and Patrick. That's nice.
Absolutely, yeah. We got a quote here. Patrick says, "Great book, Pat. Brings the facts, but hilarious at the same time. Woke as fuck. Owned together." Your hashtags are beautiful, and I sometimes think the resistance is like, "That's a good one," and then they, "Oh wait,"
Did
You know what's funny when
coin Still Withering?
Yeah.
See, I think that's the most one.
The funny thing is that I've already forgotten what I was going to say because I got caught up.
Sorry,
to the centrist retweeting. I used to get retweeted all the time blindly by so many Hillary people, and then I would follow the chain because I would go see the tweet and see all their friends saying this is parody, and then I had like usually about a 2 to 3 minute window before I was blocked by that whole crew.
3, 2, 1. Boom.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How much damage can you do?
And occasionally it was like some of the propagandists even.
Yeah.
Some of the bigger accounts would retweet me.
Well, some of the people are saying, go look at the people who follow you. You'd be surprised at your followers.
Yeah.
I've got a bunch of Trump supporters that follow me, honestly, because of some of the things I say about the police and some of the things I say about, deep state. So there's a weird crossover.
Because you don't like Hillary Clinton.
Well, that too. Yeah, I mean, I called her Crooked Hillary and frickin' what's her name blocked me just for that conversation. What's her Joanne Reed. Yeah, one of my favorite centrists of all time.
So Snarky mentioned this might be a good time to mention Hillary's tour. So Snarky says Hillary has booked large venues across the U.S. starting in late spring. That has to be an omen for Hillary running. Well, yes.
I have that, but this is unconfirmed, everybody, but I've seen 2 reports from, I'm going to call it independent media, but I don't really know the quality of the source, that ticket sales are so down. I mean, you're talking $1,000 a ticket. So, yeah.
Plus Chardonnay.
Yeah, they were saying that a lot of them were canceled, but like you said, it could just be some right-wing propaganda stuff because I don't have any confirmed sources either, but
I could imagine maybe people are just a little burned out. You think on Hillary?
Yeah. Well, or if there's only 1% can afford to go see her, you're only going to get 1%.
Right. Well, did you see her tone deaf message about going to the thing? You could win, 2 glasses of Chardonnay.
Yes. And a show.
I did not. Oh my God.
It looks like something the Onion wrote.
Yeah. The only thing worse would be if she said a mimosa.
If it said mimosa, I'd be dead.
Every millennial's dream is to have champagne with Hillary for what was it, $5,000 for an autograph? You charge an extra $3 for your autograph. I went there. Right. That was a good deal.
That's for the capitalists among us.
That's you greedy son of a bitch.
$3 less.
Just ridiculous. But just real quick, I saw Eco Sutra drop a quote that said, "Trump is embarrassing me in Argentina." I'm like, as opposed to anywhere else in the world right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, Bernie 2020 all the way. Are we? Do you think he's going to run?
Yeah, he's running. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't think he'd risk getting someone like Beto hijacking his movement. That's, if there was another viable, true progressive, I think he would pass it off now, but there isn't. So he has to win and then pass it off.
Yes.
You really don't think there's anybody, not even Jeff Merkley? Jeff's trying to run here in Oregon.
No. Go Jeff. No. Nationally, no.
No. Beto, no. Jeff, no. Kamala, no.
Oh, hard no.
Democratic rising star.
Yeah. No, they've been trying to make her a thing for 2 years, and it's just not going to happen.
No. Her record, they can whitewash the record all they want, but it still sucks.
Yeah, and I mean, take all her policy out. Nobody ever talks about the fact that she's not good at debating. She's good at sort of prepared speeches. I mean, look, she's an attorney, and she had the Kavanaugh hearings. She sucked.
I thought,
she should have nailed Kavanaugh.
And weren't there a couple good quotes out of that, or was she not the one doing the big moving? Somebody went down on him. Was it not? Oh, that was the wrong phrase to use.
I didn't touch that one.
Yeah. Anyway, we already know that.
She was pretty weak. I mean, that was her moment to really shine and get a lot of good sound bites, and she dropped the ball, in my opinion.
Agreed. All right, so we got some natural progressive, says Nina Turner, Tulsi Gabbard.
I mean, I would look, both those people, absolutely. I trust them with the movement, but can they win?
Probably not.
Right,
Yeah.
that's the problem.
My friends saying, "Who's Nina Turner?" It's like, you don't know who Nina. Yeah, so at least my friends, those friends know who Bernie Sanders is.
Right, and I think that's the problem. That's why it has to be Bernie, in my opinion.
It is, yeah. I see.
At least
it's
for
the
2020.
same.
I mean, who knows who will come out? I think the people who are, our future leaders are just arising now, and they can't go straight for the top. They've got to work their way up a bit.
Absolutely.
And Bernie would have used the time to build up a follower candidate of his choice, and he did not. So this is my impression that he will run again.
And he's got, I mean, if you look at our Rev is set up to be his ground game. I mean, it's all there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He's got more structure in place to win this thing. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, they have to keep separation though, but they are a 501(c)(4) or 504. They're that weird political nonprofit thing, so they can do certain things. There's a lot of people talking about different people. Jay Inslee, so I forget who mentioned that, but the reason why Jay wouldn't work is because
Tulsi as a running mate.
Oh, Tulsi is I mean, I love Nina too, don't get me wrong, but Tulsi fills in the gaps that the perceived gaps that Bernie has. Foreign policy and the military.
Yes.
People on the right love Tulsi.
Yeah. Plus, she's a sitting representative. She's
a woman of color.
Yeah.
I mean, she is the perfect running mate to me.
Yeah,
agreed.
I would like to see
as Secretary of State or
something. Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
All right.
I mean, Tulsi would make a great Secretary of State too, but
that's true.
So we got the people. We just got to get them in power. It sounds like got to get Nancy out of the way. Who else? What about? So we got to get Nancy, Chuck, most of the Democratic power out of the way, right? And we will do that with incredible sarcasm.
What's his name? Hakeem Jeffries.
Oh, right, the new tool.
Yeah. So that's lovely. That guy shilled for Hillary back in 2016. Smeared Bernie with all the NRA stuff.
Oh, he was on the Bernie NRA stuff.
Yeah, he was on television several times saying, one of his quotes was something about Bernie being an arm of the NRA. Like just ridiculous.
Right. Here's just so everybody has reference. This is Peter Dow crashing on the same stuff. The real Bernie Sanders, and he did this whole thread, which is hilarious. He said the first elected with NRA help, then repeatedly voted with the gun lobby, opposed the Brady bill 5 times. That's all he did, was oppose the Brady bill 5 times. That was the extent of his siding with the gun lobby, and he actually stated reasons each time because of Vermont being a very gun-happy state, right, Pat?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm not here to defend old Bernie stuff, but the idea that he's an NRA guy he's got a D- from the NRA. He doesn't take their money. It's all just bullshit narratives they've spun.
Yeah. It is. And so you think that sounds reasonable coming out of Peter Dow, and then you see this thread. Then he ran a campaign of personal destruction against Hillary Clinton that he initially conceded was a character assault, but that he kept pushing long past the time she was obviously the nominee. And I would it's a Verret link, but they don't work anymore, so we can't really prove that.
God, I hope Verret comes back. That was
That was a gold mine.
that was peak internet right there.
It really was. If you guys don't remember what Verret was, is the Hillary anointed website that Peter Dow created. And this is some of the comments. This pro-Hillary website looks like North Korean agitprop. Where's my favorite quote on this? The derision greeting Verret is so universal it inspires sympathy for Dow. Gizmodo, the Washington Post outline, New Republic, New York, The Ringer, and others have broken its back with their snap judgments, this is. Verret, a media company for almost nobody, read one headline. No one asked for Verret, but here we are. What is Verret and why should I care? Peter,
I liked when he switched over the control of Verret and blamed Verret on his wife of color, though.
Yes, I remember that. Do you?
He literally
was
did.
really the editor. You know.
He said, "Don't dismiss my wife of color."
Right.
Half hers.
Throws his wife under the bus, and I don't remember
Yeah,
her
I
like
remember
defending
that.
herself
Good
either.
times.
She's just like.
Good times.
So.
Yeah.
We'll let you get out of here, but tell everybody again where they can get the book and why they should get the book. Is it going to help them? Is it going to make them happier?
It's going to make them mildly depressed, which is my goal in life.
Very amused.
It's my Tinder profile. I will make you mildly.
At
So
this point, swipe right on that shit.
The book is at ininconvenientdouche.com. Why you should get the book? I mean, it's pointing out what's wrong with the party in a way that's approachable. You'll get a lot of facts. It touches on every aspect of the past and the future in the party. It's not a heavy read. It's just fun, and hopefully it gets the message across. I don't think anyone could read this and not be a little pissed about shitty Democrats.
Yeah.
Agreed. And just everybody, it's it's a nice site. You can choose one of two options, and you can avoid Amazon at this point. I suggest doing that now, and you might as well overload Pat with requests for autographs. It's an extra $3, which is like $4,907 or $97 less than Hillary's autograph. So
I should do a champagne giveaway or something.
A mimosa giveaway.
Yes,
Right.
you should. I think that would be fantastic.
You guys just inspired me.
There you go. Hey guys, it makes a great Christmas gift. Can you get these out by Christmas, Pat?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Today?
Yeah.
What's your deadline? What's the deadline for ordering for Christmas giving?
I haven't figured that out yet, but media mail. So I ship them out I ship the order out the next day.
Okay.
So
great.
9 days.
Okay. So
9 days
you're
max.
good for now. But friends and makes a great gift.
It does. It's hilarious. I mean, Laura's been talking about it since she got it, and
oh yeah,
I'm waiting for my copy, which is going to have a special autograph on it or something.
Yeah.
Which I shipped, I believe, 2 days ago. So it's coming.
I'm looking forward. We'll go over that.
I didn't pay for the autograph, and I got one. So
there you go.
Still withering.
Two options.
I might autograph them all.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be cool. Cool. All right. Thank you so much, Pat Cody, who is also known as Peter Douche, Peter Douche's liaison. Everybody, please thank Pat for what he does for the revolution because, man, we need him. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. You guys are great. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Cheers.
Nice to meet you. All right.
Yeah.
And Pat, you can hang out if you want. I'm going to put Amos on camera because he's going to talk about some other stuff. But you don't have to. You can ditch. Get out of here. Feel free.
We can stay on audio.
Yeah.
All right.
Feel good. Talk to you later, man.
All right. See you guys. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Really, I enjoyed it.
All right.
Thank you. Great to have you.
Well, that was fun. It's a good
It was
interview.
great.
Yeah, I like doing that. Let me switch Amos over here. See, I gotta get the camera back. Hang on, everybody.
Did you want to play part of that song?
Which song?
On the Hillary song?
Oh no, it's going out. We're going out with that.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
If you guys,
I didn't know if that was in honor of Peter Douche.
Sure.
Mid-show musical.
But he has to stick around if he's going to hear the song. That's
That's true.
That's just part of the thing. You guys are really enjoying it.
I couldn't remember
with the song. If you look in the description of the video of this YouTube event, all the links that we've been talking about, there's links to inconvenientdouche.com. There's links to the Democratic platform online, which is now there. There's a link to the 2 songs that we have listed for our outro because I can only play a bit of the first one. It's going to make me really ill. And It just is. And let me get Amos all framed out here. And I got to talk about a few things, and then we're going to go into some national news. And we ran a little late with Pat, but shit, I mean, why not?
We knew that would happen.
I knew that would happen. It's great to have him. Hang on, everybody. Let me find just some things that I want to go over. Not going to take long. This weekend is the fourth quarter SCC, the Democratic Party of Oregon State Central Committee meeting. And there are some shenanigans going down between the Democratic Party of Oregon admin and several of its members and a member of the Rules Committee and probably other individuals in the Executive Committee I'm not aware of. We're having a battle right now between the progressive majority of the Democratic Party, which is the Assembly, which controls the power, and the admin, which has power and doesn't want to relinquish it, which is a violation of the bylaws. And I'm not going to get into all the details of just how ridiculous and outrageous the efforts have been of the chair who is there to facilitate the assembly. Instead, she's acted more like a perch-clutching establishment tool and is doing everything she can to appease the assembly and not follow the rules of the party. And so I'm pretty pissed because we have one of the most progressive platforms, probably the most progressive platform in Oregon's Democrat history, maybe the most progressive platform in Democrats across the country. It's an amazing platform, and I worked on it. And 500 of us worked on this. But it means nothing. It means nothing once we finish it. It doesn't mean shit to the Democrats that we elect. It doesn't mean shit to Kurt Schrader or Pete DeFazio. It doesn't mean shit to Gene, apparently. The stuff that's in here is what we stand for. The platform, the Democratic Party platform, is what we stand for. And so I want to see platform Democrats. That's the narrative. It's not about Bernie versus Hillary. Okay, that's in the past. And it's not about progressives versus centrists in Oregon. It's about, are you a platform Democrat? Because that means you abide by our platform, which are our standards. And if you're not up to our standards, then why should you receive our support? And we're not asking for pie in the sky. We're asking for what 500 people who were elected to represent the entire state of fucking Oregon Democrats decided that we stood for as a party. And if as a Democrat you can't stand for these things and you violate our platform, then you don't deserve to be a D in our state. Go run as a Republican. Go run as an independent. Go run as something else. And I'm talking to you, Pete DeFazio, Kurt Schrader, and all the other Democrats who like to scream that they're all environment and that they're great and they're dead. You don't follow our platform. You take fossil fuel money. You violate resolutions. You violate our standards. And we need to make that clear to the party. So I put the platform online because it's a beautiful thing. You can go to dpoplatform.org, and I put the entire platform there. Each article, there are 11 articles, is a separate page, and you can share those pages on social. And I encourage you to do so because this is part of a long-term tactical ops that we're doing. You guys don't know that my past is web development, technology, search engine optimization. This site is going to rank above the DPO for this content. And so as it rises up in search, and I add the LAIs and the resolutions, and then I add the Platform Democrat pledge that Laura and I are working on, we will have a web asset that will be more valuable and rank in search for all of these terms above the actual DPO website. And we're going to draw people to this, right? That's the benefit of being able to use pristine content created by the Democratic Party, right? So, and the DPO's website's built in Drupal, and they don't know how to do SEO for shit. So, this is our asset. It's going to be a big asset for us. The major thing you can do with is to share individual articles right now with our representatives to remind them what they're supposed to stand for. Like every representative in the state of Oregon should be working 100% on a green, 100% renewable energy Oregon by 2030. That's in the platform. If they're not doing that, they're violating the platform. If they're taking fossil fuel money, they're violating the platform. Right? So many things that our Democrats are violating in this platform. And it's time to hold them accountable. We're going to do that.
This reminds me of what's going. Sorry, this reminds me of what's going on in Germany. We talked about this yesterday. The German government is now sued by different organizations because they are not keeping the promises about the climate change efforts to fight climate change, and now they are taken to the highest court in Germany. We'll see how it ends.
I remember you saying something about that, and I find that very interesting. That this is almost like the climate change lawsuit in America against the government. So it'll be interesting to see how, what will your government have to do? What will be the consequences?
In the first place, we have to see if the highest court accepts this this trial, this hearing, and if they do, then I'm curious what they decide.
Absolutely. It's amazing that we have to use our courts to hold our government accountable. Even that seems to be a failure of democracy in Germany, and you guys have a better one. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
we'll see. And our Amos pointed out, what was it, last week, that we're doing the same thing with the Sunrise Movement and the kids and the climate. So it'll be see how that goes with that. Who knows? America's climate suit is in Eugene. I know. The climate suit is in Eugene. I should have those kids on the show, right? You'd think I should ask them down. We should have those. Maybe they'll get a couple of them to do a Saturday show, but we'll probably have to avoid the dick jokes, and I'll have to hide the bong, and
I'm on it.
Do I have everybody in the shot? I do. There we go. I got it. There we go. Hey, Amos.
Here we are.
What are you doing? Say hi. Are you there? Are you frozen?
Hello. Yeah.
Oh man, we still have a bad connection going on for you. I don't know if we're going to be able to go through.
Oh no.
It's still bad.
Yeah, the audio is just killing it. I don't know.
It's still cutting out?
No, it's better now.
That sounded good. We'll see if it continues.
Let's give it a try.
Yeah, that sounds great. All of a sudden it kicked in. So you ready to do your bit? We're going to get into the weekend review.
We had an amazing week.
All right.
Yeah.
We had Trump had definitely a bad week, and I have a clip there if you want to run it. It's a very short one.
Yeah, give me a second. I didn't have your clips pulled up at all because I was playing. Actually, that's going to take me a bit. So if you want to talk about a slide, that's better.
Well, I'm sure everybody's been paying attention to all the Michael Cohen stuff that's been coming out, and it's been tough on him. So I don't know. I think you mentioned earlier that you thought it was all a distraction. I think it is a distraction, but it's not. It wasn't planned to be. It was basically just the way it happened. And it's unfortunate, but I think there's great questions at stake. Whether there's actually been, some conspiracy with a foreign enemy state. So that could be serious. But I didn't want to get into the details. But there was interesting stuff about some conspiracy theory I had about Assange.
Okay, please do.
Well, so as you remember, Manafort met with Assange. That was one of the revelations that came out.
That was proved to be bullshit, actually. Wasn't that bullshit from The Guardian?
Was it a bullshit?
I can't remember which bullshit is bullshit, but if that's the fabricated...
WikiLeaks came out against it, and somebody else did. So it's been disproven, and they're going to be suing The Guardian for that story. Yeah,
that was complete shit.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Them disproving it, them claiming it didn't happen doesn't disprove it necessarily. But I'm curious.
Actually, they have all of the physical evidence to disprove. There is no record of Manafort's phone ever being there. There's no. They have
his passport wasn't stamped.
The passport wasn't even stamped to be in a fucking country. It was all a complete fabrication by The Guardian, and The Guardian has lost all of its integrity in pushing that story. And we don't know why they pushed that story. And this is. Glenn Greenwald was the person the other day on Twitter to say, okay, so this has been out. Why don't we all wait and see if there's any fucking evidence on this, one way or the other? And a couple hours later, all of a sudden, it was proven this was complete crap when it was noted that a CIA agent was allowed to write an op-ed in The Guardian, which is where this shit came from. So let's go there. Let's just to cover the truth there. So.
Yeah.
And
do you have that clip set up?
No, I can't. I can't run Jimmy Fallon, dude. They always shut us down.
Oh.
That's Viacom. I can't run Jimmy Fallon.
No problem.
So I'm not going to be able to pull up those clips.
Yep. I think that Bernie's actually getting ready to run. He's just come up with his new book, which I'm dying to read.
I was wondering, this is his book? I was wondering. Okay.
Yeah, he's got a new kind of where do we go from here type.
Oh, cool.
I saw this going around. So, all right. So you really think he just put going off on?
I do think so, and he's had a good week. He's been launching things left and right, and the last thing that was quite a success with him was the bill about Yemen.
Yes.
There's basically I don't know why we only learn about this, and I apologize for the slides. They are disturbing, so if you don't want to look at the screen, please don't. But we've been in cahoots with Saudi Arabia for a while, launching this war just because Iran was on the other side. And at this point, it's just deteriorated to the point where it's a major humanitarian crisis. It's been famine in Yemen, and it's just horrific. Bernie has managed to push his bill out of the committee, which is
That was huge.
quite a success with some Republican votes going along. So there's a little video of him discussing it as well.
And all of those links are in the YouTube description, everybody, and I don't have any of them ready to play, so I apologize greatly for that, Amos. We're just going to have to fake it on the videos. Yeah. But that was, let me ask you, so it was historic that the Senate pushed, I mean, that was, I didn't expect that. Did you? Did you expect that?
No, this was not expect. But the thing is, that's what I believe Bernie brings to the table. He's a great negotiator, and he can work across the aisle in spite of all of his positions that may be considered by many as progressive and rightfully so. But he's still able to get Republicans on board, and that's a lot to be said about him as a politician.
Do you think it'll make it across the line, though? Do you think this is actually going to go through?
It may, but I think that the White House is going to try and block it. But that puts the White House straight on record as blocking something that is against a horrific war that's going to be recorded in history as such.
And do you think Trump's base will care?
I don't think his base will care. I think that a lot of Americans will.
So this will be yet another unifier to help us band together against the current admin. We're hoping, right?
I'm hoping so. But I'm just hoping that this war in Yemen is going to stop, because it's just been just utterly horrific. There's millions of people that are expected to go into starvation if this doesn't change. There's already been 80,000 kids that died of starvation. It's just unbelievable.
It's on us, America.
Yeah. Well, I'd recommend everybody to look at that video that's in the that's going to be linked, because Bernie really explains the whole thing very well.
Can we get that in chat?
And also,
Laura Live and Good, could you drop that video in chat, please? It's on the. Thank you so much. Yeah, sorry about that, Amos, but we'll get it in chat so everybody can go watch that. It's important. And
okay.
For those of you who don't know, when you see this video, the chat links with our content, so you'll be able to see that link as you play. All right.
Which one is it? The Bernie's petition?
Yeah,
what?
Bernie's petition. That's the
Got it.
second or third. Yeah.
Thank you.
And
The actual petition, or the
well, it's his talking about the bill.
Okay.
The discharge.
Oh, no, this is. I've got a link to the.
All right. There's several links. We can get them all in there.
Hold on.
Get them all in there. Really appreciate it.
The other thing is like a short clip of from the G20 conference, and it's the bump, the high five between.
Oh yeah, with Putin.
That's going around.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's just unbelievable. It's just like a gathering of mobsters. The only person that's missing in that shot is Trump.
Okay, now I saw a photo of Putin and the Prince of Saudi Arabia in a hand grab with Trump in the distance staring them down. I don't know if that was photoshopped or if that was real, but it looked like he was absolutely jelly of what was going on there. So, not a part of that upper club there.
It is kind of in your face to Trump, because it's basically saying, okay, we're playing behind the scenes here, and we have things wrapped around Trump. So
I don't see a link to Bertie's video. I just see a link to the petition, and then the two Geraldo Rivera's. And then
All right.
And it's a provocation also, doing this on this stage, on this G20 stage, coming with this high five thingy, and it gives a sign to the G20, you are not that important anymore. This is the other message, and
Yes.
I don't think that Trump is missing there, because he is not in their league, because Putin and MBS own him, he has nothing to do in the near of them.
well, he's one of the mobsters in the gathering.
Yeah.
In the criminal way, yes, but he's
not
not
the
playing.
dog.
He's not playing in their league. He doesn't fit into this. In my opinion.
Yes, yeah.
see.
The other thing that I wanted to mention was the immigrant thing. You can't ignore that, and that's been quite an amazing.
The caravan?
With the gas and everything, and there was a little clip as well with Geraldo, and that's also very interesting, because he's like, it seems like he's kind of reached his barrier, his threshold of how much he was willing to take with Fox, and he's like just lashing out in anger about this thing, and rightfully so. I wish he was likewise doing with other things, but it's worth watching, because he just calls it on the air.
That's nice of Geraldo to do that. I find Geraldo to be a grifter who goes wherever he needs to go to make sure Geraldo is still in the news, and he's realized he has no base, so he's jumped over. So congratulations for Geraldo for finding a new base. But
I think he's actually He's I don't think it's an act in this case. I think it's
may not be.
He has very strong feelings about it. You could see that in the video.
May not be. But, good for him. That video is linked. Sorry, everybody. Play it. You and I got to get together beforehand and look at some of these links and make sure I can play them. And yeah, the Bernie link isn't in there. I looked. You're right, Laura. So we'll get that link to you. But you guys can search it. Just find what Bernie has to say. He did a big talk. He went to Congress. He talked about it. He had posters. Does what Bernie does. With the 5 or 10 people that were there to listen. That's typical Bernie style. I also wanted to give a shout out to Ro Khanna for also pushing the bill, because he's been working on that. As a junior. House, what is he, rep, senator, and if I forgot, Kelly Lane, thank you for all the help last night with your tweet postings on the Peter Douche book, InconvenientDouche.com.
May they be retweeted.
Yeah, absolutely. Amos is right on about these things. We've got the immigration. You're talking about the caravan. What do we got? It's a great distraction, right? Except it's a reality, and we created those immigrants, right?
Well, I don't know if we created them, but we're not sufficiently involved in solving the issue.
Well, considering, Honduras and all those other Central American countries that they're coming from, we basically went down there and decided to regime change them, rape them, plunder them, all in the name of democracy. And now they're coming here because of the leaders we deposed. Yeah, we're responsible, and it's pretty frightening. It's pretty frightening, and let's not forget that Hillary Clinton had a large responsibility there. Haiti, that's another example. Honduras, she forced fracking on Brazil, worked with Chevron on that one. So it's not just Saudi Arabia, So if Hillary does run again, that'll be interesting. See how that record flies. What else, Amos? I'm sorry I kind of cut your whole thing like into pieces here because we don't have the video content. But what else do you want to go over?
No, that's pretty much it. And the only thing probably worth mentioning this morning is the passing of H.W. Bush.
We made it all the way to the end of the show before we even mentioned that. That's awesome.
It is. Another war criminal gone. Woohoo!
Yeah. That's a fantastic thing. He was a criminal creep.
First tweet about that was, "It's hot down here."
Yeah.
The Bush parody account, because he'd burn it in hell. And then I've already seen the glorifying of Bush Sr. because they opened the letter he wrote to Bill Clinton, and oh my gosh, it's just so elegant. Either way, he was a monster, and he bombed the fuck out of countries, and he murdered a lot of fucking people. And no, Bush Sr. was not a nice guy. And no, he doesn't get a good send-off. And it doesn't matter that he's dead. And to William Legate, who says, if we don't have anything nice to say about Bush Sr., you should just get off Twitter. Fuck you, dude. Freedom of speech.
And for us Germans, he's still a hero. You know, this is what our
That's right.
This is what our news magazines now are posting. You know, and because Bush 1 was the president in the United States when Germany got reunited. You know? And
right.
For this. Yeah, the public media consider him as to be a hero for us, John.
But the wall, I don't understand that, Marcus, because the wall came down under Reagan's watch. So why don't they give him the cred?
Reagan initiated, but it came into law, or it was preceded when Bush 1 was in office. He signed all the papers for this.
Well, there you go.
And Bush was vice president when it came down to, so he was there as well.
Yes.
Well, he was he was the freaking CIA since Kennedy.
It was.
So,
he was.
You know.
I don't know if you guys have listened to the Bagman podcast, but he had also a role in the trying to silence one of the judges that was supposed to bring corruption charges against Spiro Agnew.
Oh.
Oh goodness, yeah.
And
Oh yeah,
that never stuck to him, but he was implicit in that.
Yeah, pardoning the Iran Contra, you know, people. It just goes.
What a great guy! I didn't even know about that one. Thanks.
He and Cheney, you know, the two of them. Oh yeah, when he took over president from Reagan, you know, he cleaned up a lot of Reagan's mess.
Okay, but in all fairness, he did also some good things that may stick in history as well in his favor. So you know,
like, please name.
Well, his everything that he has done regarding opposing Russia and getting to that spot.
So continuing the Cold War narrative, that's what he's done. I'll have no problem acknowledging anything he actually accomplished that was good for the people. Fighting the Russia
not getting reelected. I think that was
there you go.
The
Making the 1,000 points of light speech. You
know,
was
nice. Talked about broccoli in a funny way.
You know, you can say all of our presidents have done some good things because they can't be horribly evil 100% of the time. But yeah,
president was only a small part of his resume.
Yes, let's put it that way.
And Laura is right. The best thing he has done is to be elected only one time and make place for Bill Clinton.
Oh well, let's not even go there because that's a whole nother.
We live in interesting times, my friends. We live in interesting times.
Oh yeah.
After my realizing that in my 20s when Bill was, you know, the star, and I thought Bill was the greatest guy on fucking earth, and
he was cool,
you know, because he could play the saxophone. And
yeah, you like the saxophone. I know that.
Funny and you know,
scary wife, but hey, you know,
who's more dangerous, Bill or Hill?
Oh, Hill.
I guess it would depend on who you're on a plane with.
Hill.
Imagine.
Definitely
Hill. Hill was behind Bill.
Yeah, I think so. All right.
Because Hill has a weakness, and this weakness are women, you know, and yeah. This is why Hillary is more dangerous, in my opinion.
All right. Possible. Crooked, you guys. All right. It's a good show. Thank you all for being here. Amos, thank you for hanging in and reporting on the stuff that's going on nationally and taking our shit for it. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Amos.
Yes.
Thank you.
Laura, thank you for connecting us with people like Peter Douche.
Oh,
Appreciate
you're
that.
welcome. That was great.
Great job,
recommend
Laura.
the book highly enough.
Everybody in the audience, thank you so much for being here, watching the show, donating, handing us the fat
Yes.
stacks today.
Yeah.
Voted people. And
Tens of dollars.
everybody, Markus Kranz is here, and he shouldn't really be because his mother passed away yesterday, and so we really want to say some thoughts.
I
to
thought he'd be
Markus.
here because we're his family, and I made him laugh this morning.
Yeah. It is good to be with you guys. You know, it's not the best day in my life. You know, as you can imagine, it was a pretty hard time for me the last couple of months, or nearly a year right now. Finally, my mom found peace, and the struggle is over for her. And at least what is the little positive thing for me is that I can now look forward and to decide what I'm gonna do with my life, with my time, and and that I'm not bound anymore and in this vacuum state. And this is the positive aspect I can get out of this very bad situation.
Well, I'll come and live with you, Marcus.
Yeah, I know this. Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're with you, man. And it kind of helped me too, because I had gone through this myself in 2014, and it was nice to work to help somebody go through that experience and be on the other end, knowing what it's going to be like. It's going to suck for a long time, Marcus. Sorry.
I know.
So there's that, and thank you all for being here and being supportive. This is a family. We are a family, and I appreciate that. We're gonna get out of. I had some funny stuff to pull up, and I can't leave we can't leave on a sad note. So we're just gonna show some of these real quick. Let me get back to my. Hang on. Media again. Whoops. I gotta put me on the camera again. There we go. I get confused sometimes. It's a lot of buttons to click. I got a lot of people in here today. This is the new Air Force One, everybody, and I think it's wholly appropriate. And was it Marcus pointed out that they actually bothered to put the seal? You see that? They got the official Air Force One seal there right on the diaper. It's really nice. This is as a Trekkie, I actually looked at this before I read the headline and thought, that's a cool next gen. Oh, wait. If you look real close, everybody, this woman did not plan on dressing up like Star Trek Next Generation. That's just a skirt with a Christmas tree emblem in the wrong place. And she is now part of the command crew of the Enterprise. And speaking of the Enterprise, I thought this was the best adaptation of... what's her name's decorations in the White House fit in it from a Star Trek old school. Spock, take an analysis. What are these things? Huh? Do they talk? Can we have sex?
And the guy with the red shirt is going, "What's that behind me?"
Totally. I'm gonna die. I thought this was the most hilarious statement ever made by a fucking corporate Democrat ever. U.S. Representative and newly discovered loves pot because of the money guy, Joe Kennedy, is urging his fellow Democrats to adopt a new economic ideology, what he's calling moral capitalism. Stay prepared to take control of the House in January. I bet you Nancy Pelosi makes that like the cornerstone of her moral capitalism for progressives. That's going to be Nancy Pelosi's tag. And just on another note of that, I got an email from Brad Martin, who's on the executive committee and a corporate tool for the Democratic Party of Oregon, and he sent me a message saying, "John, are you going to be a grassroots supporter for the Democratic Party this year?" So they've
Form letter.
they've co-opted the
Or a
term.
very accurate.
They've co-opted the term grassroots. They've co-opted the term progressive. They've created a new funnel for their money called the Meredith Woods Memorial Fund, because you can't get upset at a dead person fund, right? And she's the former chair of the party. Nobody knows where the money goes. Nobody knows why they created it. The State Central Committee didn't authorize the creation of this thing. And now they're sending everybody notes saying, are you going to be a grassroots supporter? Dump all your money into our new fund, because the old funds are getting taken over by the actual assembly and we won't get to control that money. Anyway, I just had to bring that up because it's the most outrageous abuse of power by the Democratic Party of Oregon I've ever seen, and I'm going to do my best to bring Brad Martin, Gene Atkins, and Chris Wigg down. and I want to make that as public as I possibly can. Somebody get that to them. I want them to sleep well. Finally, I thought this was the pinnacle of memes. This is the unveiling of the Chris Christie governor painting that will go, I'm guessing, in the Capitol, and I thought that was absolutely spot on. whoever painted that one, they captured Christie in his best moment, lazy on the beach where he shouldn't be. So
this is actually a photo that was taken of him while I think of the 4th of July when the parks in New Jersey were closed down.
Yes. Yeah.
Because
except for him and his family.
Yeah, he was at the
he
governor's
had a private beach. Yeah. He was at. He closed the entire park actually and had a private barbecue there.
He did
on his own.
And we have that shot thanks to a helicopter pilot that was like, fuck this shit, and flew over his family. Nobody on the beach except for Christie and his family. The helicopter's like, yeah, ka-chink, ka-chink.
Yeah.
So that's why
one of my favorite memes of last summer.
So anyway, that should make you laugh. Go to aninconvenientdouche.com, buy the book. This isn't supporting Pat Cody's, lavish mimosa career. This is it's a good book, and it's fun, and something to remember. If we could all be dead in 10 years, so at least you have that to read till then. We'll lose our internet. Coming up next on our channel, I'm going to do this. I haven't done this in a while. I'm going to do a live restream of the Bernie Sanders event on Monday. That'll be at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific. Markus will be really asleep because it's late in Germany. But they're going to talk about climate. We'll see what Bernie and his guests have to say, and join us for that. It's going to be streamed everywhere: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. He's working with the big independent media coalitions. But I got nothing to do. Let's hang out, watch this. Join us, all right? So that's December 3rd. That's this coming Monday. That's it. Music story time. You guys are going to love this. Hang on. I'm just going to put you all in here, and thank you so much.
It needs a disclaimer.
Oh, yeah.
Or an intro. Or maybe not.
It does.
It does speak for itself.
Please say your quote about it. You just nailed it perfectly.
It does so much to say so little.
Does so much to say so little. That's the new Hallmark Moments.
Yeah.
It does so much to say so little. Hallmark. Centrism. So what we're going to watch, which is absolutely horrific, is the 2016 Democratic Party song for Hillary Clinton. If you recall, during the primaries, Bernie Sanders had a massive following of independents, and we had shit tons of music and art and videos and just everything to play that came out from all these just amazingly creative people for Bernie Sanders in support. And I remember one Hillary tune, and it wasn't this one. I couldn't find the one Hillary tune I remember, which was actually worse than this one. But this one was actually funded by the DNC. So those of you who donated to Democratic candidates that you thought were going to be good, you probably funded this garbage right here. And it's their fight song for Hillary. They took a cover song, and yeah, so we're going to listen to a few seconds of this, and then I'm going to switch over to Markus's choice, which is Death Grips, Black Paint. And Markus, do you want to take a moment to talk about this band?
Yes, I would like to do this. And before I do this, I would like to say thank you to our viewers and for your comments and for your nice and helpful words. And I know this is what I like, what I'm doing here, and this is family. And thank you guys again. Coming to my pick for today's outro song, you can imagine that currently I'm in a emotional condition, and lately I found a band from California. They are called Death Grips, which in my opinion is nowadays one of the greatest bands we have here. Because you might, before we go on, if you if you hear this song, you know, you will hate the first song, but I'm not sure if you would directly like the song I picked. You know, you got to listen into it.
You're really,
Marcus.
yeah, thank you. You're really not selling it, dude.
Hold on. You might listen to it 2 or 3 times to get into it, but when you're in, it gives you a new world of music. This music is so raw, so energetic, so pure, and so above the boundaries of music industry and music businesses. They don't give a fuck about businesses. They are just raw, and they are straight, and they are honest in what they're doing. And I really hope you enjoy this. As I said, listen to it. Don't say directly, it is nothing I can take. It's absolutely fantastic. I have this song now, and this song I have this nearly the whole day in heavy rotation running here, you know, and it pushes me, gives me so much.
This is for Marcus.
All right, well,
this is for me, and I hope you guys like it too.
That will be the second song, but first, let's enjoy a little bit of this. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Go get the book.
Thank you for watching.
And thank you so much. Thank you, Amos. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Marcus.
For Hillary. Like a small boat on the ocean, sending big waves into motion.
Like how a single word can make a heart open.
I might only have one match, but I can make an explosion. And all those things I didn't say, wrecking balls inside my brain. I will scream and loud tonight. Can you hear my voice this time?
Okay, that's all I can take of that shit. Here's Death Grips.